Hi, everybody. This is Dan Stolbarger. Welcome to this week's KFIR Middle East Update. It is the week of May 22nd, and today is Jerusalem Day. Who can forget those sounds, the recordings? In fact, if you get a chance to go online, Jerusalem Day is the day that commemorates the reunification of Jerusalem and the establishment of the Israeli control over the Old City in the aftermath of the 6-Day War. But even the recordings, you can hear Colonel Mata Gur announcing on the Army wireless radios, "The Temple Mount is in our hands." I repeat, the Temple Mount is in our hands. All forces stop shooting, stop firing. This is the David Operations Room. All forces stop fighting. I repeat, all forces stop firing over. The Temple Mount is ours. And so we rejoice in the fact that Jerusalem, the eternal capital of Israel, the city of our great God, remains now firmly in control of Israel. So we celebrate that this day. As far as our news bites go this week, there's some promising corona vaccine trials that are going on. An Israeli doctor, no big surprise there, is behind the phase 1 testings, and it looks very positive. There's a lot of cyber attacks that are going on right now. Israel is kind of bolstering their cybersecurity. About a week ago, Iranians tried to hack the water supply system for Israel. Israel retaliated and they shut down one of the major ports in Iran. And then I just saw this morning before recording this that Iranian hackers have vandalized dozens of Israeli websites today with the words, "The countdown of Israel's destruction has begun," along with different images of Israeli cities in ruins. So a lot of different warring techniques these days, and cyber attacks are one of the major ways that a country that has lesser capabilities with military hardware can still attack, and we're seeing that. So I know for me, I'm always on guard of seeing whether it's on my social media platforms or whatever, friend requests, and I've been getting a lot from a lot of different Arab countries, and it's all in Arabic. And so it's a concern for me to wonder who's watching my site and do they have the capabilities to hack it. But anyhow, I thought this is in the news and will continue to be. And then we still have this tension between China and the U.S., and kind of caught in the middle is Israel, and Pompeo was just in Israel. I think part of it is that he's wanting Israel to, in so many words, pick a side. And so we'll see what transpires there. Now let's go into our regular articles this week. Just as a reminder, go on our website, get the PowerPoint PDF, holygroundexplorations.com. I'm going to kind of race through this because I've been going over a bit and I don't want to go over that 10-minute mark today. So Jordan in Israel. King Abdullah on Friday in relationship to Israel's plan to annex Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria, veiled threat, but is basically saying there's going to be a massive conflict if Israel annexes the Judean Samarian cities that they're referring to. So again, that's the one peace partner that Israel has, besides Egypt, has kind of relied upon. And I think we're just beginning the beginning stages of just what I refer to as saber rattling, threats being made and we'll see how that transpires. Of course, Abbas has made a statement in an emergency meeting in Ramallah on Tuesday, basically saying that if Israel annexes part of Judea and Samaria, all agreements with Israel and the U.S. will be null and void, whether it's the Oslo Accords. And remember, that was the establishment of the Palestinian Authority. And so basically he's saying everything's off the table if you do this. Again, veiled, not so much veiled, just threats being made. And then, of course, let's not leave Hamas out. Hamas is basically calling for, they're realizing the power they have with Israeli soldiers or citizens that have been kidnapped. It doesn't matter if they're alive or dead. Israel will pay a high price to get no man, woman left behind, sort of thing. And the head of Hamas refers to Israeli soldiers as, quote, loot, to be used as bargaining chips. And so he is calling for the Palestinians to look for more opportunities to kidnap soldiers. The Saudis have come out more and more. As you know, the Saudis are aligning themselves more with Israel. In this article here, it begins by saying Saudi Arabians do not want to side with the Palestinians anymore. They see what Israel is, they see what Israel has accomplished, and they want to join. They want to accomplish great things as well. And the Palestinians have not shown or been or in any way show signs of a promising future. They just don't feel like they can continue to advance their country by supporting the Palestinian cause. And so in this article that you can read, there's the second paragraph is an amazing depiction that they call the truth about Israel. So make sure you check that out. In Iran, as you know, it's where the ancient shrines are of, because in biblical days, this is Persia, and the burial place of the biblical figure of Esther and Mordecai are in Iran, in Persia, and they were reportedly set on fire overnight. Minor damage has transpired, and so no big surprise there. But again, it just shows the widening gap between Iran and Israel. This is an interesting article from the New York Times. You know that there's been this hate fest going on between the New York Times and Israel. And in this article, there's a new book out by Sue Monk Kidd. And she says she's done a lot of research on the quote, here's the quote, first century Palestine for her book's new novel. And this was reviewed in the New York Times. And that phrase, I want you to listen carefully to, Jesus and Palestine, first century Palestine? No. In fact, years ago, my friend Jane Benary pointed out a glaring error in my cherished New King James Bible. She showed me the map in the back, and she talked about how offensive and really anti-Semitic it is for somebody to refer to Palestine in the time of Jesus or Christ, because that is not the fact. It wasn't until the 3rd century that the Romans kind of once again were fed up with the Jews, and they changed the name, but there was no such thing as Palestine during the time of Jesus. So why put that on the map? Now, kudos to Thomas Publications, because I sent my Bible to them with that explanation. They sent me a new Bible, and they promised to change their maps. And so I've noticed that they have, and so kudos to them. Not so much for the New York Times. Joe Biden has made it clear that he's doubling down on his strong opposition regarding Israeli moves in the West Bank. He says, I do not support the annexation. Israel needs to stop the threat of all of this. It's going to choke off any hopes for peace. So you know where he stands, and with him, probably the Democratic platform in terms of Israel. Benny Gantz, as you know, is now kind of I guess you can use that word, co-prime minister of Israel, because in 18 months, Bibi will step down and Benny will step up. And in the meantime, Benny is the new Israeli defense minister, and he vowed on Monday that he would work to implement U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East peace plans. And so he's, again, propping it up. He continues to say that peace has been and remains the most important Zionist desire, and he feels that this is the best roadmap towards that. So we'll see how strong his stance is in the coming months to come. So with that, that's our update for this week. Just a reminder, we have a couple tours coming up in the fall, one October 25th through November 3rd, the other November 13th through the 22nd. We're excited to go back to the land, and if you want more information on these tours, we have openings. Go to our website, holygroundexplorations.com. Shalom.